Shalom. So I wanted to make a quick video. Just getting back home from the gym about midnight, so it's pretty late. But on my way back home, I was talking to Yahuah, and something came to mind, and I wonder if it was from him, because there are some things that I believe, at least I like to believe, that he puts in my mind to better understand our relationship, like Yahuah and I's relationship, Yahusha and I's relationship. And so I wanted to share that just in case, it can help anybody appreciate the dynamics of the beautiful relationship we have. First of all, before I say all that, as I was praying, and talking, and I probably won't share everything, but I was thinking to myself that it is such an honor and it is so powerful to even be able to be heard by Yahuah. And I said, at least I hope I'm heard. But I think it's an insult at this point. It's an insult at this point to doubt that he's heard me, because he has done a lot in my life. So much that I probably haven't even spoke publicly, but people that know me know that he's done so much in my life. And I know that he's done a lot in my life, and I'd like to remember that. I never want to forget that. But that being said, he has moved in my life, and I've seen his hand many times over. If you don't think that I am a brother because of this, and that, if you don't think that I am a true sibling, if you don't think that I'm truly on this walk, that's fine. If Yahuah decides that I'm going to the lake of fire at the end, that's his will, and he's righteous, right? That being said, I do believe that he's moved in my life regardless of any of that. And I do believe I'm his son, and I do believe I'm his friend, and I want to keep my end the best I can, because I have to serve him forever, and I want to. And I will serve him forever. It doesn't matter what. I need to do that, and I want to. All that being said, I just thought to myself, how awesome is it that we can even talk to him and be heard? That is something that I feel like I don't comprehend or appreciate fully. You can talk to the one who made everything, and he'll listen to you. If you believe on his son and you try to do the best you can to obey his law, because we know from Proverbs, paraphrasing heavily, hopefully I don't butcher it, but those who hate the Torah or stop their ears to hear the Torah, even their prayer is an abomination. And many of us, I know that we're trying to eat clean. We're trying to do the appointed days. We got the seats on. I don't know if you can see them from the camera. I don't want to lift my shirt too much. Show something by accident. But kind of being silly. But I know a lot of us are trying to do our best to obey him, and it's beautiful. And I feel like we're seeing a lot of restoration of people just realizing, hey, his names do matter. Respectfully, I think that scripturally speaking, I do think it does matter. Whether you say something else, I believe it's Yahuah and Yahusha. From my studies, I believe that I've been strengthened recently by studying really in depth on those names. And I really wanted to make a video about that, and I haven't. Maybe I should. Prayers for that. On what I found on Yahusha and what I found on Yahuah. But I know there's people who say other names, and I'm not going to get into all that right now, but I know that there's a lot of people who just realize, yeah, it's not Jesus, it's not the Lord, and I want to actually be closer to my master and say something that was closer to what he would actually call himself on Mount Sinai, right? On Mount Sinai. All that being said, we're doing the best we can. And, a lot of people with the restoration, we're trying to get out of the Christian churches, the Christian church mentality and all of those things, and trying to do our best to obey what's actually in the scriptures, right? Instead of Christmas and the Easter and the whatever that's not even in there, we're trying to do the Passover and the Feast of Unleavened Bread and Tabernacles, and we're finding so much beauty and strength in that, right? And we're finding so much health and power and beauty in eating clean and keeping the Sabbath and making a stand for him and making a stand for his name. And I believe a lot of us are being heard by Yahuah. Even if, like, oh yeah, like I prayed for this and next day nothing happened. Oh, like I feel that too. But that doesn't mean he didn't hear you. You know? You're probably not going to hear an audible voice, and that's okay. Scripture talks about that. Like, if a prophet hears from Yahuah in a vision or a dream, what can we expect? I don't think there's a bunch of Isaiahs, like, or Yeshayahu's, or Jeremiah's, Yahu, prophet level tier people walking around. Respectfully, I don't. Whenever someone says they're a prophet, I am already kind of sussed out at that point. I don't think there's really like genuine prophets walking around. I do think there's a spirit of prophecy, and I do believe people prophesy what's already found in the word. And I do also, obviously, I don't despise prophecy, so I give I give that little bit percentage that there could be some prophets. But I think most people are not like Isaiah writing scripture level prophets. And I think most people would agree with that. Hopefully, they'll be humble enough to do that, right? Like, I don't think anybody's writing true, genuine Tanakh level scripture in 2026, right? So if someone like Yeshayahu, Isaiah, Yeshayahu would be his Hebrew name, just in case, anybody who's not super familiar, right? Or Jeremiah, Yahu is his Hebrew name, per my understanding of the Hebrew. If they were spoken to, I think Numbers 12, Yahuah says to Moses, or Masha, Hebrew name, per my understanding. If Yahuah said to Moses that, if your prophet is of Yahuah, paraphrasing, if your prophet is of Yahuah, then I speak to him in a vision or a dream. Like, can we just really expect to just be praying and then hear an audible voice out of nowhere? Like, that would be very rare, right? And it would have to be such a dire situation. Or, I mean, I'm not Yahuah. It's all up to him, right? That being said, right, it doesn't mean that you're not heard. And I want to remind myself that too. And so I believe, I could be flat out wrong and I could fall on my face publicly, but I do care, but I don't care. I rather say this as a witness in case it is true, because I do feel it in my heart that Yahuah is going to move in my life very soon, and it's going to be beautiful. And maybe I'll look back to this video, and maybe it'll be a few, days or weeks or months, and I'll be like, right? But I do believe that he's been hearing me. And I do believe that he's been hearing many of you. Like, what father wouldn't? And I got so sidetracked that I almost forgot. But I'm glad I said all that, right? So, I have a precious nephew. A very precious nephew that I love very much. And his name is Sebastian. And if you're watching this, what's up, boy? What's up? He's a very special kid, and he has a very strong heart and interest in Yahuah and Yahusha. Prayers for him. He's 12, turning 13. Very proud of him. Came over for the Passover, asking a bunch of questions. Even before that, like watching a lot of Yahuah and Yahusha content, just like asking a bunch of questions, super interested, right? I love that child. I have no children, right? I am very much single. I do not have children. I do not even know the beginning of parenthood. I have an idea, obviously I've been in positions of babysitting, or I've been there to, like, I've seen my nephew grow into a young man. It's very beautiful, right? So I feel like I can kind of get a little bit of a gist of what it is to be a parent, because that is the closest I have to a son is my nephew. But I know it's not the same thing. But I feel like I can appreciate it at least a little bit more by viewing it from that perspective, right? And so I love that child. No questions asked. I would die for him. I know for a fact I would. And if you're watching this, remember that. I'm being silly. But he's very familiar with my sense of humor, so. But anyways, and he also reminds me a lot of myself, which is, yeah, he can be cringe, right? Like, his humor's funny, and like, at least for me, I think it's endearing. It's like a mini me. It's so weird. And people have said it. Many people have said it. It's like a mini Ray. And like he's like super into Yahuah and Yahusha stuff, and he wants to like help out with the movies, and he's like watching them, and it's the most beautiful thing. All that being said, as I was praying to Yahuah and Yahusha, like I was praying to Yahuah through Yahusha on my way back home from the gym, and like I thought to myself, like, man, like I really, like, he's 12, he goes to public school, you know, all this stuff. Like, he's not homeschooled, sadly. I'd love it if he could be, but you know, he also lives super far from me, so like, you know, I don't have a whole lot of control, you know, on a lot of things. But it's like that dread in my heart, that feeling where it's like I can't be there physically to help him on a lot of things. You know, like if temptation comes his way as he's like growing into a young teenager, you know, hormones and all these things, like I can only hope that he walks righteously, right? You know, when women start to look great and temptation arises, all I can hope is that he's like, no, I'm going to wait for marriage, and I'm not going to sin by watching garbage on the internet, you know, and, you know, I don't even know if he knows any of this stuff yet. Hopefully he's pure mentally, you know, but nowadays I doubt it. I doubt that a lot of kids don't know a lot of these things, even at 12 and 13, and it's sad. And that's my whole point. It's like, it's a corrupt world, and it grieves my heart that I don't know if he'll make the right decision, even with his interest in Yahuah and Yahusha. I'm a grown man, and I don't always make the right decision, and it sucks. And that was my whole point, but I'll get to that in a bit. But all I want in my heart is for him to choose life. All I want in my heart is to know that at the end of his life, he will be with Yahuah and Yahusha eternally, in the reign, and in shalom, and not in torment. That is all I want for him. I want the best of the best. I want to give him the most that I can. I want to be everything I can for him as his uncle. I'm not even his father. I would love to give him the best of the best gifts. And I want to help him any way that I can. Like, if he ever has an issue, if he ever has a question, I want to answer. I want to listen. And that's my whole point. It's like, I'm not a dad. I'm not a father. I don't understand the concept. I didn't really have my father in my life. I'm not trying to disrespect him, you know. But, like, my childhood was pretty bad, man. Like, maybe I'll get into that in the future. But, like, my dad was not really in my life. So, you know, I've had stepdads and stuff, and I'm not trying to take away from stuff like that. But, like, I don't really understand what it is to have a dad sometimes. And that's okay. I mean, I have Yahuah now. But, like, I'm not a dad. Didn't really have a dad. So it's like sometimes it's really hard for me to comprehend and appreciate, you know, the fatherhood aspect of serving Elohim. Sometimes I feel like I see him more as my king and my boss and my Elohim rather than my father, you know. And yeah, I think that's great. I want to have a reverent fear for Yahuah always and forever. I want to love him and respect him like the powerful, almighty Elohim, Al-Yun that he is. He is beyond anything that I can even comprehend. And I know I would fall to the floor as dead before him, and I would only come back up if he says, you know, do not fear, right? I believe. Or if I'm in a different body, you know, than I am now, most likely. But that being said, like, he is also a very beautiful, kind, tender-hearted father that loves us. And so sometimes it's hard for me to understand that, because again, I'm not trying to disrespect my dad, but I've only been abandoned, and, you know, for the most part. I don't want to get too deep into that. But, so, having Yahuah as my father now, it's like I believe he's been showing me things, and, like, letting me see things. Like, I've seen, you know, beautiful fathers, you know, whom Yahusha chose. You know, he has 4 kids, Yahusha apprentice. He has 3 kids. Beautiful fathers. Love those Achim. I've learned a lot just by watching them, you know. And they're also married. And because I'm not married, I've learned a lot from them too. And I love them very much. And I think it's so precious to see a father and their child interact naturally. And I've also, you know, seeing the discipline side, you know, I definitely learned a lot from, like, you know, just applying that to my relationship with Yahuah, And but just seeing the tender love and the bonding and the genuine care and concern that a father has for their child, right? Like Yahusha has said that in his teachings, like, would a father, paraphrasing, would a father not give his son, like if his son asked for bread, would he give him a rock? If his son asked for fish, would he give him a snake? No, and so if you who are wicked, us as humans, we're wicked, we are so freaking wicked in this flesh. Doesn't matter how self-righteous you think you are. Of course, we should strive for righteousness and perfection, but we're so wicked in comparison to him and Yahushua, to Yahuah and Yahusha. But like, even us who are wicked, like, we can love our children. Like, we can desire the best for them. We would die for them in a split second. Like, there's no, like, unless you're a horrible parent, like, most of us just have that natural Elohim given like instinct to die for as a man, the woman and the children. But like, just to make it for both genders, our children, right? Whether it's son, daughter, nephew, niece, like. And so it's like, how much more Yahuah? And it's so beautiful, man. We serve a king, an Elohim, right? He's also our father and our husband, and that's a whole other thing, right? But like, we're just focusing on the father aspect, and it's like, it was put in my mind, and I was asking him to, like, give me something, put something on my lips to speak, right? Because I feel like I've been talking a lot about the weight loss and the movies, and that's cool, but I wanted to speak about something encouraging. And I didn't know. And I didn't want to just get on here and just say a bunch of hot air. So, but like, I do truly feel like this was something that I was encouraged by just driving randomly. I didn't expect any of this. And, just talking to him in prayer. And I feel like, just this came up in my mind. And I was like, man, I want to share it. And now that I'm recording it, I'm like, I feel encouraged just talking. And I asked him to help me speak. I'm not saying this said Yahuah. It's up to him if he answered that. We'll see. But just hearing myself talk, I'm just being encouraged by just hearing myself talk. And I praise Yahuah and Yahusha for that. Even if nobody else finds it encouraging, I'm going to go into my house, Yahuah willing, and I feel encouraged, right? And I feel strengthened. But just to kind of wrap up the point, I just feel like I know how I feel about my nephew, and I love him, and I just want him to do righteousness. But it also grieves me at the idea that maybe one day he could choose not to do this. He could choose to walk away. He could choose sin. And that grieves me so much. And that's where it's like, I believe I can understand Yahuah a little bit better with us, like how he is with us. Like, he just wants us to do right. He just wants us to obey him. If only they had a heart to obey me. It's like, I was thinking about my nephew. I was like, if only, like I just want him to have a heart for you, Father. Like, I just want him to choose the right thing. And I'm just like, wait, I like this longing, this almost like not fear, but like this dread over me. Like, please, I hope he does the right thing. Please, I hope my nephew chooses you. I hope he doesn't like fall astray. I hope he doesn't just like go and live his own life apart from you, Father. Like, that same heart for him to choose life. Like, I know Yahuah has an intense, way more intense feeling for us. If only they had a heart to obey me, and like, all would be good for them, paraphrasing. All would be good for us and work for our good if we believe on Yahusha, the Son who died for us and rose again, and obey him. Like, let's walk with Yahuah. Like, I think about Enoch, kind of sidetracked, but I'll come right back, hopefully, Yahuah willing. Like, I think about Enoch. Like, it's so cool to me. Like, where it says, like, he lived so-and-so years, I think 365, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. Read it for yourself. And then he walked with Elohim. That is so cool. You want to talk about what makes a man cool? What makes a man cool to me is not the fame and the money and, oh, he gets a lot of women. I don't care about all that. You know what makes a man cool? You know what makes Peter and John and Elijah and Moses and all these people super cool? Is Yahuah. Is the fact that they served Yahuah. Like, I think Moses is super awesome because, like, he was used by Yahuah to part the Red Sea. He was used by Yahuah to lead the children of Yasharal out of Egypt, or the children of Israel out of Egypt. He was so cool because Yahuah buried him, personally buried him. That's how important he was. Peter, super cool because he walked with Yahusha. Super cool because he, like, repented after he fell short, and Yahusha showed him so much mercy. Peter, Kapha is such a great example for me. Because I see him falling short so many times, and Yahusha didn't give up on him, and he loved him. Yeah, he rebuked him, like, he corrected him a few times, but, like, who isn't? Like, what loving leader isn't, right? But it was so all that coming right back, it's like, man, it's so cool. It's just so cool. The coolest thing we can do as men and women is serve Yahuah. Because otherwise, respectfully, if Moses, if Peter, if Elijah, if they were just not serving Yahuah and they were just like random pagans, I wouldn't care. They'd just be some random people in history, like Julius Caesar. I don't care about Julius Caesar. Bro, who cares about Julius Caesar? I don't. Who cares about what? I don't even know. Shakespeare? Bro, like, what do I look like care about Shakespeare? Bro, I don't care about that. What is that? That doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't care. Like, that's like, oh, high school, they force it on you. Like, but like in reality, I don't care about these historical figures that are just pagans and heathens and live their own life. But I do care about the prophets and the kings that served Yahuah. Like, they're super cool to me. And so, anyways, I'm getting off track and I'm talking a lot. But I just wanted to encourage you guys. Like, I do believe Yahuah is hearing you. And he is a loving father. And I know we say that a lot, but like, when you really think about it, like, think about a child in your life. I know a lot of you guys are parents, and you guys are baruch to be parents, because now you can really think about this. Like, think about your child. Think about how much you love them, right? And if you believe in Sirach, I think it's like, I believe it's Sirach, but I don't think it's in the 66, but like, Yahuah loves you more than a mother. But also, like, if you go into the 66 books, right? Like Yashayahu, Isaiah, just for those who don't believe in the extra books, that's fine. Yahuah says in Yashayahu, Isaiah 49, I'm going to paraphrase, it's like, would a woman forget her nursing child and not have compassion on the son of her womb? Even if they forget, I never forget you. So it's like, you know, whether I believe it's Sirach, but like, if you believe in the extra books or not, like, it all comes, like, it's all agreeing with each other, at least in that. It's like, he loves you more than you could ever love your child. So if you love your child a lot, or you have a parent that loves you so much, like, I've been so baruch that my mother has loved me so much. Like, you call me mama's boy, I don't care. I don't think I'm a mama's boy. I'm very independent. And I thank Yahuah and Yahusha for that independence. And I've let her know, like, you know, I want to build that independence as a man, especially in this world. That being said, like, if, you know, mama's boy or not, you know, it's like, she's loved me so much and supported me, and she still does, and she's on the walk. Hallelujah. Prayers for her if you feel led. And it's like, I know Yahuah loves me more than her. And that's such a high standard, because she loves me so much. She texts me every day. Are you okay? Oh, I love you. Yahuah and Yahusha, you know, bless you. And all these things, like, the fact that she checks on me, like, I was pretty much every day, and loves me, you know, and has cared about me so intensely, and I know it's genuine, like, and I know that Yahuah would make her love seem like hate in comparison. I need to remember these things, that this is the one we serve, guys. And then if you just do it yourself, because you know how you feel better, right? Like, you can be like, oh yeah, I know this person loves me. But like, even better is just like looking into your own heart and knowing how you feel. Yes, I know you're probably annoyed. You get annoyed with your kids and you want to spank them sometimes and correct them. That's normal. But you love them. Like, if someone were to try to come into your house, Yahuah forbid, and try to hurt them, bro, like, yeah, right. No, like, that's not happening, because you love them, right? You love them so much, and you just want the best for them. You want them to choose Yahuah and Yahusha, and you want them to choose life. You want the best for them in every way. You'll give them good gifts, not evil gifts. Yahuah, you just think about that feeling when you think about that child in your life, like your son, your daughters, your niece, nephews, whoever, right? And just know that Yahuah's love and care and concern, him hearing your prayers and answering and moving in a way that's his will and moving for your good, because you might want this one thing and it's not the best thing for you, right? Think about that. The love you feel for this child or anything like that, right? Or like your parents' love for you. Just Yahuah's love will always make that pale in comparison. So as we pray, remember who we're talking to. And remember who we're praying through. The one who died for us. The one that gave it all up for the Father and for, like, because he loved us too. Like, he wanted to do that for us. Now we can be saved. Now we have an intercessor. Now we have a high priest. Now we can slaughter spiritually. Now we can pray to Yahuah through Yahusha, because he's the perfect atoning offering. And the only way we can approach the throne with confidence is through Yahusha. Now we have all that. We have all of it. We have a beautiful, perfect Father. We have a beautiful, perfect Messiah. You know, older brother. Like, whatever you want to, like, there's so many. King, Elohim, Father, husband, brother. Like, bro, how Baruch are we? We're so Baruch. Man. Rumamu Yahuah! Rumamu Yahusha! All right. It is, it's past 12:30. All right, I gotta go in.